The way that Congress was set up was very different between the Articles of Confederation system and between the Constitution. Within the Articles of Confederation system, the legislative branch, Congress, was unicameral. What does that mean? It means there was only one house. There was one group. Um, each one of the 13 states essentially had one vote in that Congress. So that may seem fair, but it actually is unfair. It seems equal, but it's not in a way. Little Rhode Island had one vote, but Massachusetts also just had one vote. There were so many more people that lived in Massachusetts, in New York, in Pennsylvania, that essentially those people were being underrepresented because they all had one vote, regardless if you were Rhode Island or if you were Pennsylvania. So it was a unicameral one house system where it was one vote per state. This is one of the major things that is going to change when the Constitution is written to replace the Articles of Confederation system. At the Constitutional Convention, again, this is one of the major arguments that comes up at the very beginning of the convention. There is a plan to essentially change the fact that each one of the states has the same amount of power. All right, so there are two sort of like competing sort of ideas when they're revising the Articles of Confederation system at the Constitutional Convention. The big states are submitting a plan called the Virginia Plan. Virginia, obviously a big state, in which they want to adopt a bicameral system, meaning two houses. And each one of those houses would be based on population, meaning in both houses, the bigger states like Virginia, New York, Pennsylvania would have more representation, more votes. Obviously, that would benefit the big states. The small states clearly didn't want that to go into effect, so they proposed what was called the New Jersey Plan. Essentially, this is just keeping it the way it was under the Articles of Confederation system. One vote per state, one house, every state gets one vote. Right? To them, this is not part of the Articles of Confederation system that's broken because obviously this benefits them tremendously. So what ends up happening is the two sides are brought together and a compromise is hammered out. This is often referred to as the Great Compromise because it's the first significant compromise that takes place at the Constitutional Convention. They take elements of the Virginia Plan and elements of the New Jersey Plan and combine them into what is Congress today. So what it does is it creates a bicameral system. The first house is called the House of Representatives. That's based on population. That's going to be the part that benefits the large states. It needs to be based on population. Today, there are 435 representatives in the House of Reps. California has the most at over 50 of them. Right? Like North Dakota, I think, has one. So clearly, in the House of Representatives today, that's the house that benefits like the big states with the larger populations. That's the part of the Virginia plan that gets put into the new government. But to make the small states happy, which obviously get dominated in the House of Representatives, part of the New Jersey plan is implemented. Another house of Congress is created called the Senate. In the Senate today, every state gets two votes. Doesn't matter how big or how small you are. Every state has two senators. So Rhode Island has two senators and California has two senators. So in order to make both sides happy, the big states and the small states, part of the big state plan, the Virginia plan is taken and the House of Representatives is created. That's based on population. And then part of the New Jersey plan is created, where it leads to the formation of the Senate, where it's equal, two votes per state. So the large states kind of have more of a say in the House, and the small states kind of have more of a say in the Senate. And for a bill to become a law, both of these houses have to agree. So both sides feel like they have an equal say.